So I just want to say thank you to everybody and to our LIT participants this year. Just to give you a little bit of background, it wasn't easy for them to get here. They actually had to have, first of all, they had to have an interest in the program. They had to apply, they had to interview, and then they had to go through a 10-week training. So it's been a tough road, and they're here today, so congratulations, you guys. I want to just start off by introducing them. These are our participants this year. So we have Jesus Salinas. If you guys just want to stand. And, Stephanie Barones. Carlos Dixon. Jamie Trina. Christina Simpson. Terry Nowling. And Benjamin Pantoja. And I wanted a special thank you to Lupe. Please stand. She was supposed to be co-facilitating with me this year so that she could do this next year, but there was a little change in priorities, and I've been working on a Greenbelt project, and she actually had to take it on herself. So thank you very much. She did an excellent job, not only putting all of this together, but leading the program on her own. So thank you for doing that. Thank you. So I'm going to try to make up some time here. So I just want to let everyone know that this year, we went with the John C. Maxwell book again, which was Developing the Leader Within You. They went through the course. They were asked to read this book. While reading the book, they also were able to gain, all these leaderships, which is the greatest myth of leadership, what a leader is. They learned about that, the role, the attitude, and the leadership, how to gain the maximum influence, ways to continually grow as a leader, and then steps for creating and casting vision. So I know that they all had their own aha moments as far as what they took from this, what they thought a leader was. Today, they're going to be presenting their interpretation of what they've learned.
Our attitudes cannot stop our feelings, but they can keep our feelings from stopping us. What this means to me is that if we approach the path to leadership with the right attitude, we will accomplish the goal regardless of how challenging it may be at that present time. If we lead with integrity, our integrity will force ourselves to hold ourselves accountable for the decisions, because that is key to being a great leader, being accountable for your decisions, because not only at that point are you accountable for yourself, but for those around you and those that you actually lead.
I try my best to smile as much as I can and to be as positive as I can for my team. Again, we all go through things, and we're a small workforce group, so we're pretty tight, and we kind of know our own personal lives inside and out. So I just try to support and be there as much as I can for them. If I can be that smile in the morning that's going to make their day or make their afternoon, then that's what I want to do. Great leaders understand that the right attitude will set the right atmosphere, which enables the right responses. So if you come in and if you're working 30, 40, 50, 60 plus hours a week, at one point I was, and your team sees that, your team's going to give you that. What you put out there, you're going to get back.
The most important ingredient to leadership is integrity. Integrity is defined as a state of being complete and unified, but also doing what's right even when it's difficult. Two quotes that stood out to me in the book is, "I am who I am, no matter where I am or who I am with. It is not what we do as much as who we are, and who we are in turn determines what we do." Identifying right thinking. Write on a paper positive thinking that is positive and what you desire. Because your feelings come from your thoughts. You control your feelings. And changing one thing, your thoughts.
Positive change. This really stood out to me just basically because we all look at change as a bad thing. It's threatening to us, when in reality we should look at it as an opportunity to better ourselves. So a step to take forward in the right direction. In the end, it is important to remember that we cannot become what we need to be by remaining who we are. So this was from our book that we read. I felt this kind of stood out to me a little bit, because when you're through changing, you're just done. We never want to stop changing, because we never want to stop improving ourselves.
The 5 levels of leadership. John Maxwell identifies the 5 levels of leadership. Number 1, people follow you because they have to. Number 2, people follow you because they want to. Number 3, people follow you because what you have done for the organization. Number 4, people follow you because what you have done for them. And number 5, people follow you because who you are and what you represent. Every single one of us, if we're going to go under a big organizational change, I know from a supervisor, a manager, I want to know what I'm going to do. And I think as an individual and as a leader, I think it's key for all of us as a leader to set all of us up for success. If you're seeing your team, you want them to have all the tools to look good because that makes you look good.
Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it, by Charles Swindoll. So that's huge, right? 90%. God chooses what we go through, we choose how we go through it. It's a quote by John C. Maxwell, the author of our book. Truly remarkable leadership is not just about motivating others to follow. It's about inspiring them to become leaders themselves and setting the stage for even greater opportunities for future generations. So that's the ultimate goal, right? Creating leaders to become leaders and multiply.
The following quote from the book really made me look at myself. The first order of things to be changed is me, the leader. After I consider how hard it is to change myself, then I will understand the challenge of trying to change others. So through this book, now I know that I need to change myself first. The big question is, once I do it, will others follow? Well, if there's one thing I know for sure before I read this book, and Mr. Maxwell reiterated in the book, is that resistance to change is universal.
Jules was recently diagnosed with cancer and she is my age. Do you know how she reacted? She smiled and she said they chose the wrong battle today because I'm going to keep moving forward and supporting my team. Can you only imagine hearing her story if you were able to have the same attitude for your team? If you were able to keep that same positivity in the face of such a horrible news? The type of attitude that you have is the type of attitude that you will attract. If you are able to go into your day as a leader, be intentional about what you are doing to create that positive atmosphere and be accountable for your own verbal and nonverbal attitude, your team will follow.
And the first thing that impacted me on the vision chapter is where it was located in the book. It was located in the back. It was one of the last chapters. And that to me really, really confused me. Because as I read the chapter, I realized it all starts with vision. So as leaders, we have to be able to visualize the future and visualize what part each individual person is going to play in that future.
You guys did such a great job. I know you were nervous, but it was amazing. And I think every last one of those presentations, I'm taking something away from. It was great, Christina.
Yeah, but again, guys, thank you. It's been inspiring, and it was like I'm glad that I came, and a great way to end up the week. Well done.
I was happy to see different people call out people that have influenced them. You know, pretty much all the supervisors were recognized, and that goes a long way because they work. You know, supervisor job is not easy. I've heard so many people say it's the toughest job in the company because of the stresses of having the front line, having the pressure of getting the job done, and to see you guys recognize that went a long way. So, but thank you, Catherine.
Okay, Benjamin Pantoja. Christina Simpson.
had any benedictions?
That's why I'm making it pronounce all the congrats. I normally say
Carlos Garcia. Jesús Salinas. Melanie Castro.